Well, hello everybody. Back in November, I had a chance to meet up and interview Kyle and Olivia of Drivin and Vibin. Of course, that's their YouTube channel and their blog, and they're renovating an Argosy Airstream pretty much from scratch. We met up. I met up with them and the Mortons on the move. And what happens when YouTubers get together? Well, we take each video of each other, right? We interview each other. So that's what we did. And anyways, without further ado, here's the interview.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
All right, here we are with Kyle and Olivia driving and vibing. Finally got to meet you guys.
We're so thrilled. Yeah, we're glad you made it down to Alabama.
I know we've been following each other on YouTube for a while, and I'm very glad I finally made it to Alabama, because it was one of those states that for some reason I had skipped so many times.
Yeah, for good reason.
No, it's just I was always on my way somewhere else, and to get out of Florida, you kind of have to go through here. Yeah. But I'm really glad that I'm here. I'm really glad I got to meet you guys. And glad to meet you guys. Sometimes I mispronounce. It's a thing.
No.
But anyways, just for the people who don't know, how did you get started in this nomadic lifestyle?
It all started when our friend took a trip for me and kind of inspired me to see that, oh my gosh, our friends took a month-long trip, saw all these beautiful national parks. I want to do that, but I don't want it to last a month.
Yeah, and I think for me more so, I was following these families traveling in vans across South America, and just I was seeing people living this full-time RV lifestyle, and I thought it just sounded so amazing and liberating. And kind of on a walk one day, we were just talking about these things and how cool it sounded and how we wished we could do something like that, and we couldn't come up with one reason why we couldn't do it. So kind of at that point, we made a decision that like in a year's time, we want to save, we want to buy a rig, and we want to plan to hit the road. Try it out at least. See if we like it.
Yeah. And what are you traveling in right now? I think you're like kind of in between rigs at the moment, but can you tell us a little bit about your...
We are living full-time in our 16-foot 1985 fiber stream. Now this is what we launched in 3 years ago.
And it's a molded fiberglass travel trailer, kind of like a Scamp or Casita, but it's a very small, like family-owned company in California. They only made them for like 10 years, and it kind of really spoke to us at the time. And the reason we chose that rig was because we had a Ford Ranger, and we didn't want to get into too much debt and have to buy a new travel trailer and a new truck. So we're like, what can we tow with this thing? And we ended up with a 16-foot travel trailer.
And we wanted something unique as well. You know, that's what really led us to it. So we thought that was pretty cool.
We love vintage things. And we had an Etsy shop when we hit the road. That's how we funded our travels. And we sold antique maps and prints and just all of this kind of cool, like, old stuff. And so it was kind of fitting that we got this vintage travel trailer.
But now you are in this major undertaking. You are building a new home, basically, almost from scratch.
Yep.
More from scratch than we wanted. But we anticipated the 1979 Airstream Argosy renovation to be a big project. It turned out to be a lot bigger than we expected. But our timeline is staying relatively on track. We're hoping that after a year's time, it'll be completely built up from the ground, really.
And mainly because we didn't expect to remove the shell from the frame completely. But when we got in there and saw some of the rust damage to the frame, it needed some sandblasting and some welding done. And it would just be way easier to get our subfloor in and repair the frame if the shell was off. So we actually kind of roped the Mortons in to helping us completely build out this structure and support to lift off the shell from the frame. And that set us back probably a few months from our original timeline.
And the Airstream gods were not happy that we removed the shell from the frame, so they demanded the Mortons come back and put it back together with us. So that's why we are all here together.
Yes, but I didn't say anything, but the Mortons are also here, and you've been working on this together for a long time, and Tom is an electronic genius here, so I'm sure he's gonna hook you up with
anytime we are ever near them again, they have a free door to the Airstream, to free
meals,
dinners, anything.
Always an open door. If you were here any longer than a day, we'd probably put you to work too.
Yes, most definitely. So it's a good thing you're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I can't wait to see the Airstream. So next time I come this way, I definitely want to see it. And it's great that you're gonna. Are you putting any technology into it besides?
We're definitely trying to make it like the most modern Airstream possible.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of upgrades along the way. We'll start out more basic, but our whole battery system and solar system will be pretty comprehensive for us, going from what we did come from.
Yeah.
We'll have 500 amp hours of lithium batteries. We'll have a hybrid inverter. We'll have a color screen that tells us how the whole system's operating all the time.
Yeah.
We'll probably have a Wi-Fi or a Wii Boost or some sort of cell booster in there.
It'll be set up to go completely off grid.
Most
That's our
definitely,
goal.
Yeah, since you're starting from scratch, might as well make it as
Exactly.
modern as possible.
Yeah.
Now, you've traveled all over the country. Any place that strikes you in particular as your favorite?
Multiple, but for sure.
We have favorite places for different things. So we love like all of the boondocking out in the southwest in the desert. I love just being out in the desert and going to sleep and hearing the coyotes outside in the distance and seeing those sunrises and sunsets off of the mountains and them just turning pink and purple. But I also love like the Badlands too. That was an epic boondocking spot. We had a beautiful spot in Glacier, like right outside of Glacier National Park. I mean, Colorado's. I mean, I can't choose. It's so hard.
And I mean, the state of Utah is probably my most favorite state there is, just because of the diversity there. But it would be so hard just to pick one favorite spot overall. So we like about 25% of the USA is our favorite.
Okay.
We love the whole USA, really. But as far as the most epic spots, there are so many of them.
RVing,
And what's any travel plans for the near future? I mean, you have to finish your story first.
We hope it is in the near future, though, to get out of here.
So our maiden voyage in the Argosy will be heading to the southwest first and working our way up the west coast to do Alaska next year. So that is like our big trip in the Argosy.
Yeah, that's like almost like a rite of passage for an RVer just to do the trek to
so
Alaska.
we're gonna really test our craftsmanship.
We hope that we don't have to do a whole new renovation once we get back from Alaska with it. So
build it strong, because I hear some of the roads can be a little sketchy sometimes. Well, it's been great chatting with you. I finally get to meet you guys, which is
us to meet you as well. We've caught up on live chats before, but
by the way, I forgot to ask you. You are fellow musicians as well.
Oh yeah.
Have you done anything? Well, I know you're playing here in the Alabama.
Alabama, Florida. Yep.
Yeah.
So, but we also released a CD. Last year is when we released it.
That's right, I remember.
Yeah, and I mean, Kyle's been a full-time musician for how many years now?
It's been probably like 6 years off, 7 years on and off, maybe more than that. It's been a lot.
Yeah, and so I guess he kind of rubbed off on me a little bit because my first venture into musical anything was that album. That was the first time ever singing in front of Kyle or putting myself out there that way. So it's been fun to kind of find my voice and explore this new creative outlet that I had never tried before.
And it's been fun because I think similar to some of your experiences, we've really been inspired by the places we've been in. And to be able to have a creative outlet that's, like music has really given us, a different way to look back on it and to remember it.
Yeah, it's just documenting those memories and really being able to remember our feelings and emotions and everything that was going on when we were in that certain place. So it's kind of a cool different way to document it. We have our YouTube channel, but this way is a little bit more sentimental, I guess.
Yeah. And are you selling the music anywhere? Are you on Spotify?
Oh yeah, we are.
Pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Spotify, iTunes.
How can people find you?
Drivin and Vibin.com. No G's.
Drivin and Vibin, and that's your YouTube channel as well.
Everything. Just
all
type it in.
Media.
Hopefully you'll find it.
So check them out, everybody, and they have travel videos and how-to videos and interviews and all kinds of cool stuff out there.
Well, cool, yeah. It's been awesome meeting you again, so
awesome
I'm really
meeting you
glad you made it to Alabama.
Yeah, thanks for chatting with us tonight.